Now let's start with algebra. So this is the first video of algebra and we'll be learning variables. Now before learning variables, let me tell you why algebra is important and what does it do to maths. So maths is a created language which will help us think more efficiently. What I basically mean is that whatever subjects which you take or whatever scenario which happens, you decode that in the language which you speak. It can be English, Hindi, or any other really regional languages. And all your issues comes in there, and you actually thinks in this. But the problem is that this is a natural language, and it's a qualitative language. So you can say something is small, something is big. You won't get exact values for this. For example, if the question is how much should be the strength of the rope which has to be used to rescue someone, so the logical answer is get the biggest strongest rope. But the problem with that is that it will be very heavy also. So if you want an exact value which ensures safety, you need more quantitative reasoning, and that is the place where mathematics comes in. What happens is that in whichever language which you use, you basically convert that into mathematics, maths, and you think in maths, and the results are then generated back into the language which you are using. And this maths is a developed language which makes it much more efficient, and the grammar of this language is basically algebra. Algebra actually controls how the flows and things works in maths, and learning this subject will help you throughout your life. We'll eventually see that. Now the first stage of this chapter is variables. Let's understand what variables are. Okay, imagine there is a cup, and if I imagine some kind of liquid is there inside this. So if I ask you what is this, okay, what is this, then you probably will be saying the condensed name. So to make it more clear, I can name this glass in my own name, or I can give absolutely any other name which I feel like. Let's call this glass to be John. Okay. So my question will be, what is written inside the glass named John, or what is inside, what is the content of John? So what is the content of John? What will you answer? Of course you don't know, because it's an empty container. It can't contain absolutely anything. Okay. So that is a basic principle of a container, and the variable works in the exact same way. Now we are very lazy people. We don't like to write full name. Instead of writing full name, we simply write a single letter J or a single letter X. And if again I ask what is the content of X, you will say that it can be absolutely anything. If I pour some water into this glass, then you will say that X is having water inside it. Now if I remove this water and I filled, let's say, diesel inside this, then you can say that S is having diesel in it. Okay. So the content of X depends upon what it is occupied at that moment. It can have absolutely anything. Now what if I put the value 5 inside X? Then you can say that X is simply 5. If I remove this 5 and if I put something like 1000 in it, then that at that time the value X will be having is 1000. If I remove this 1000 and I put a value like minus 1.6, then the value of X is minus 1.6. So just like a container have the ability to put absolutely anything inside this, a variable is also have the ability to put anything inside it. In fact, the word variable, it itself means something which can vary or something which can change. So whenever you don't know what the value is, or when it is not mentioned and you are sure that it is something which is going to change, then that is a variable. Okay. So variable is a letter or symbol that is used to represent a number that can change or is unknown. Now we are using a single letter just because we are lazy. Okay. Because if you write full name, let's say I wrote this as SIG. So every time I have to represent this, I have to write the full thing. We are lazy. It's easier to write a single letter. Now that is variable. Now the thing is that there can be multiple different bottles or multiple different containers. I can name one of them as X. I can name the next one as Pa. I can name the next one as Ka. This is the Hindi letter, this is the Malayalam letter, and of course English letter. No one is preventing you. You can write absolutely anything. And if I ask, if I put the value 5 inside x, then I can say x is having 5. If I put 1000 inside pa, then I can say pa is having 1000. If I put minus 1.3 inside ka, then ka is having minus 1.3. So, and let's assume that, imagine I remove this minus 1.3 and I put the value 5. Then ka, both the container or both the glasses ka and x contains the same thing. Then you can say that both of them are same at that moment. Okay, so that is all with variables. Now, your parents or you yourself who's using a kitchen will be very familiar with this scenario. Because if you go to your kitchen, you'll see bottles like this, Horlicks and Boost. See, you cannot be sure that this bottle always contains Horlicks or Boost. If you open that thing, you'll figure out that one will be having dal in it, another will be having rice in it, or absolutely something else. But still they have an identity, because even if dal is kept inside this box, you need to know which box it has been kept. So the name of this container is Horlicks and name of this container on the right is Boost. And you can say that at this moment, Horlicks, the bottle H is having dal inside it, bottle Boost is having rice inside it. Tomorrow if you remove this rice and let's say put sugar in it, then it will be having sugar in it. Absolutely, that's all. Now read this question and figure out what is the variable in this question. Jacob went to a shop to buy some pens. The price of a pen was rupees 20. How much money did Jacob spend? In this question, you don't have to answer the problem, just answer what is the variable. See, the variable is some pen. We don't know how much pen Jacob is buying. So this value is unknown. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can even be 0. It can be absolutely anything. So since it's an unknown value, we can call it as x or p or n, whatever you feel like. Okay, even your local languages you can select. So that's it. The variable here is some pens. We can say that Jacob bought x pens. Now look at this and tell me what is the variable. Just have to answer me what is the variable. Naveen alone went to the town to buy some notebooks. The cost of bus ticket to the town from his home is 20. The return ticket is also same price. If each notebooks cost rupees 30 each, of course 2 eaches are there. If notebooks cost rupees 30 each, yeah, this each is not there. How much money did Naveen spend? If he went to the home, went to the town, bought notebooks and came back. See, he bought notebooks. We don't know how many notebooks he bought. So the number of notebooks he bought, that is the variable. You can name it absolutely anything. I can call it y. You would have given it some other name. So that's all with variables. Now in the next thing we will see how to use these variables to form expressions.